The biting wind of late October whipped around Blackwood Manor. It stood like a skeletal sentinel in the New England woods, rotting but refusing to fall. Elias Thorne, a young, ambitious architect, with a portfolio full of impossible dreams, stood at the crumbling wrought iron gate. He did not see the decay. He saw a canvas. A close-up of his hand, steady and eager, as he signed the single cheap document, a $1 per month lease. Near the entrance, a rusted sign read 1957, crudely scratched out. Below it, a new warning, abandon hope. The grand hall was a museum of ghosts. Massive furniture, shrouded in white ghostly sheets, stood silent and still. Dust motes danced in the lone shafts of light. Elias was quick to set up his headquarters. A massive dark library became his drafting room. He unfurled blueprints across a portable table, ready to conquer the past. Hours bled into the night. A solitary desk lamp cast a small, defiant circle of light against the oppressive darkness. Elias was lost in his work, the shadows everywhere. Then the hum, a low, persistent, unnatural vibration that seemed to come not from the air, but from the very stone of the manor. Elias stopped, confused. A sudden arctic cold slammed into his back. He spun around, heart hammering, but saw nothing. The cold faded, leaving behind only a terrifying whisper right next to his ear. "You should not have opened the trunk." Elias's face, pale and slick with sudden sweat, betrayed a pure animal panic. Ignoring the warning, Elias went higher. He climbed a dusty, cobweb-filled staircase that groaned under his weight, ascending to the forgotten attic. Under a moth-eaten velvet cloth, he found it, a heavy, black, iron-banded chest, the trunk. It was locked with a massive, ancient padlock. As he examined the chest, a book on a high shelf slipped out of place. It fell to the ground, opening itself to a page simply titled Betrayal. Downstairs, Elias stood frozen, staring. He had left his keys on the mantel. Now they rested neatly on a nearby velvet pillow, deliberately moved. Driven by an unseen force, Elias entered the dusty drawing room. He reached out and slowly pulled a massive white sheet off a huge oil portrait. The portrait was of Eleanor Blackwood. She was stunning, yet her painted eyes held a profound, haunting sadness. Elias took a step back. A close-up on the painted eyes revealed they were now glowing with a deep, furious rage, staring directly into his soul. He looked again, an extreme close-up of the painted hand on the canvas. It now mysteriously wore a silver wedding ring that wasn't there moments before. Deep within the house, Elias found a single door unlike any other, heavy, solid oak, reinforced with steel and secured by 3 thick, rusty deadbolts. A brass plaque read, "Servants' Quarters." He stood next to the door. It was vibrating, humming loudly with the same unnatural sound he heard earlier. Slowly, a piece of old, brittle yellow paper slid out from underneath the locked door. Elias dropped to his knees, snatching the page. It was written in a frantic feminine hand, a diary entry. Close-up of the scrawled text. "He knows. Alastair knows everything about the child. I cannot save us." Rage replaced fear. Elias grabbed an iron fireplace poker and violently smashed the handle and the 3 deadbolts until the mechanism shattered. The door finally gave way, splintering inward. A thick, freezing, opaque vapor rushed out, smelling of damp earth and deep winter. Elias looked down. It was a vast, circular stone dungeon, dropping deep beneath the manor. An underground tomb. In the center of the gloom, a single flickering gas lamp hung over a broken, antique wooden crib. A horrifying close-up inside the crib.
Not a real body, but a small skeletal infant doll wrapped tightly in a brittle yellow blanket. The gas lamp instantly flickered out. The dungeon was plunged into absolute, crushing darkness, and the temperature plummeted. From the deepest shadow, the skeletal ghost of Lord Alistair Blackwood materialized. He was tall, gaunt, dressed in a tattered Victorian suit, his eyes like glowing coal. Beside him, the ghost of Eleanor Blackwood appeared. Gaunt, beautiful in a blood-stained white dress, staring at Alistair with profound fury. Alistair, you have found our secret. Now you must take her place. Eleanor's ghost, ignoring Alistair, subtly pointed her shimmering, transparent hand towards the stairs and the upstairs portrait, silently warning Elias. Elias did not hesitate. He turned and ran frantically out of the dungeon, slamming the splintered door shut with all his strength. He raced down the main staircase. Terrifying, howling, ghostly shadows pursued him, clawing at the air just inches behind his heels. Reaching the drawing room, Elias knew what to do. He ripped Eleanor's canvas portrait violently from its frame, just as Alistair's ghost materialized directly in front of him. No. Close up on the oil painting, Elias had set it on fire. Eleanor's painted face was melting, twisting in a final agonizing expression as the paint bubbled and smoked. The ghosts of Alistair and Eleanor screamed in unison, a sound of raw, ancient pain. Their bodies violently dissolved into smoke and shadow. The entire manor shook violently. Elias burst out of the front door and into the woods. Behind him, Blackwood Manor was completely engulfed in a spectacular, cleansing fire. Final shot. Weeks later. The manor is a charred, smoking ruin on a cold, moonless night. The burnt gate sign remains still reading, for lease, $1 per month.